Crohn's disease is an inflammatory bowel disease. There are two general inflammatory bowel diseases, Crohn's disease and ulcerative colitis. The inflammation in Crohn's disease is throughout the whole wall of the colon, as opposed to ulcerative colitis, which is just a mucosal disease. Small bowel Crohn's disease, you will typically present with crampy abdominal pain, bloating, obstructive symptoms. Fever might be part of it, weight loss might be part of it. If you have primarily colonic disease, you may have predominantly diarrhea, you could have bleeding. Well, again, treatment is going to vary depending on the extent and severity of the disease. Very mild Crohn's disease is treated with medications like mesalamine.
The initial symptoms were I woke up one morning, ate breakfast, went to work, and started vomiting. I ate lunch and started vomiting. Ate dinner and started vomiting. I went on that way for 3 or 4 days, and I had to put myself onto a liquid diet because I couldn't, every time I eat a meal, you'd wind up in a few hours vomiting. What had happened was I had an intestinal blockage.
I was scared when they first told me that it could have been Crohn's disease because, it's incurable. So I figured, if it is that, then it's something I'm going to have for the rest of my life and have to deal with it. My symptoms initially were very scary, and it's what I ended up in the ER because of my symptoms. I was bleeding a lot, wasn't eating or drinking much water for like 2 weeks, and very weak and fatigued. So it was scary for me.
I'd have this like transient pain. I'd just be like sitting in class, because I was in school, I was at the U of A. I'd be in school and I'd get like this pain in my stomach, and it'd come and go, and then I'd eat, and sometimes it would happen after I ate, sometimes before, and then I'd have a lot of diarrhea, and
I do remember like the really bad stomach aches and the like tiredness and the nausea, but I mean, I still get that. It hasn't really changed.
When I took her to the pediatrician, he'd say, oh, well, maybe, it's an anal fissure or something like that. He kind of didn't think could be anything. He didn't even imagine that, someone so young could be diagnosed. But then when it started getting worse, and we went to see Dr. Guichon, who was a gastroenterologist who's amazing, and he thought it could be colitis, and I was really surprised.
I tell everybody that Krista was larger than life. She was a personality that I don't think anybody could match. She just had the kind of personality when she walked into the room, she changed the room completely. And she was also probably the funniest person that I've ever met in my life.
Krista had one of the biggest hearts of anybody I know. She would go out of her way to do anything for anybody, but then she'd get really mad when everybody wasn't like that.
Krista was forgiving and understanding, and probably the coolest person I've ever known.
She was a best friend. She taught me about life, taught me how to grow as a person, and who she wanted to be there for everyone, and just really broadened my heart and showed me that there's a lot more out there.
When she finally got a diagnosis, it was this huge relief to her.
Really, really frustrating to watch Krista go through Crohn's because of the spirit that she had. So thankfully she was so resilient and fought so hard. But the reality was that it hit her relatively quickly. I remember she was having a bunch of stomach pains and stomach issues, and we didn't know what it was for a long time. And then it just progressed very quickly for her.